Challenge play is selected. Resume. Quit/restart. Pop-up menu, you have two options. Restart game is selected. Entering restart game pop-up. Are you sure you want to restart the game? Yes.
Welcome to the stream. Enjoy. Feel free to ask questions.
Yes. No. Yes. Entering play call. Special teams. You have 6 options. Return left leg is selected.
Here's the former UCLA Bruin, Kaimi Fairbairn, to get this one started. And we are underway in Foxborough. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Under center for the Vikings, out comes the former Michigan State Spartan and longtime veteran Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are...
Categories. Entering play now screen. You have 9 options. Quit/restart is selected. Entering
he knows
play
exactly
call,
where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
You have 30 options. HP inside zone is selected. Bench Z spot, RPO power alert bubble. Regioni HP recent, stick spacing.
First play and a first pass for Cousins. And his first pass here is going to fall incomplete.
Haven't met a corner that's worth this salt
Entering
yet that
play
ever
call,
admits to worrying about man coverage. How about the play there, breaking that pass up?
Regioni HP scissors is selected. AHP dive. Regioni AHP dive. Favorites. Puck counter. Flanker drive. Puck cross it. Slants middle.
Delay of game. Offense.
Entering
accept
play
the
call,
penalty, of course, and
there
push
are
the
9
offense backwards a bit.
You have 9 options. Regioni HP scissors is select. AHP dive. Mesh spot. Favorite. Puck counter. Flanker. Puck cross it. Shock dot. Puck corner. Shock WR option.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the stick, 2nd and 15. On play action, Cousins. Flush to his right. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Special teams. 2 RB bar 1 favorites. Puck counter. Flanker drive. Spacing.
Third play here, this opening drive as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Cousins. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
Entering play call.
Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert.
Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
And that's an early scramble to be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish it as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
Cousins. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
AHP dive, puck counter, flanker drive, puck cross it, puck boot slide, shock WR option.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Play fake, Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up fourth down.
Enter, dagger sit, verticals, fake punt shove it, fake punt off, fake punt F, punt. Recent, pop boot slide, pop, Regione HBC's favorites, there, bench, for vertical, spacing switch.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. Here's Cousins. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Touchdown! Alexander Madison, 41 yards. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there. They'll go for 2. They'll run it with Madison, and he will get in to make it 8-0. Opening drive touchdown, and 2-point conversion.
Amazing nowadays for the kickers. I've actually talked with a few of them. They're more concerned about the point after touchdown than actually missing regular field goals. So maybe the coach is taking some pressure off here and just going for 2 and saying, I'm saving you for the big stuff later.
He's hanging out by the net.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And able to get this out to the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment. Running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Gets the dump off to Pierce. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here's Stroud. Quick slant to Brown. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Entering play call.
We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Yes.
First down, they go right back to Pierce. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that.
Second
down. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Now they'll change things up. Stroud will throw it. That to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. ends up falling to the ground incomplete.
Stroud on third down now. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on fourth down. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the fourth down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Charles, their first drive of the game, and already they're taking chances here, but they get the fourth down conversion. I'm curious, do you think that that's something they game planned for on the opening drive if it came up, or is that something that happened organically?
I think that they game planned for it, Brandon, and when you think about it, let's just say it. The word analytics is a big part of how everyone looks at a game nowadays, but it's not just the analytics. It's a coach willing to be daring, willing to be bold, and they certainly were there.
They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
That was third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they get on the board, trailing now 8-3. So we had the touchdown and 2-point conversion to start the game. At least they're able to come back and get 3 on the board for their opening drive.
Yeah, and most coaches will always say, just give me something on the opening drive. Anything you can put up on the board, you feel better about things. And in this case, I like the fact that they resisted the urge to try and match them big because just get the points on the board. You're okay, even though they put 8 on you to begin with.
Taken at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. The long drive last time out for this offense, Charles, if you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partners, a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Give him 32 on the play.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Entering puck counter. AHP dive. Spacing.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Cousins. This is Alexander Madison out of the backfield with it. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside. And they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. That's down the field for Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 40 yards. And the Vikings add 6 to their lead. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Cousins will try and throw. And they don't get it. They tried for the two-point conversion there, but unsuccessful. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the two-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
Entering play call, coach suggestion.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Throwing now is Stroud. That's to the veteran. It's Robert Woods. They'll give him 4 yards there. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Suggestions. There are 7 cat. Give cushion.
And Stroud now to throw. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Here's Cameron Johnston now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. And they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
Puck counter, spike ball. Puck counter.
And am I seeing this correctly? They brought out the field goal team here on first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining.
Entering play. Puck counter. Flanker drive. Person. 2 RB bar. 2 RB bar. Favorite. Recent. There. Regoni H. Favorite. Puck counter. Flanker drive. Spacing. Puck boot slide. Spacing.
Jefferson moving in motion left. Cousins on first down. And he floats one there, incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Personnel, there are special team favorites. Recent, there are favorite. Puck counter, flanker drive, puck crosses it. Shock WR option.
Now a 2nd and 10. Back near the goal line, Cousins. His throw incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. One incompletion, two incompletion. They're going for more.
Slants middle. Person, 1 RB bar 1 T. Favorite, recent. Insides, 4 vertical. Inside zone.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. To throw is Cousins. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
Well, they showed a 5-receiver set, had the backfield empty, and lined the running back out to the left. Plenty for the quarterback to process both pre- and post-snap, but he was able to find his man, and it turns into a big play.
Entering, Regione HB, spacing switch, spacing.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Again, it's Cousins. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. Osborne motions left.
Delay fade.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you've got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
That might be the third down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Recent, spacing switch, pocket slide, spacing, 4 vertical, pocket slide, spacing, 4 vertical, spacing, 4 vertical, spacing.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room?
Yeah.
Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
Alert! Alert! Smash!
Stroud off the play fake. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now they'll throw it with Stroud here, 1st and 10. Throw left side complete. That's Pierce. Call it a gain of a yard, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
But it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. So on fourth down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. Well, good start for him in this one here in the first quarter, and he's now 2 for 2 on field goals.
And I know while the offensive coaches are telling their guys, hey, let's leave the kicker out of it unless it's an extra point, this could pay dividends if this game is tight down the stretch. His confidence is going to be sky high if they need him for a big-time kick.
Oh, a good-looking return setup here. And it'll be a terrific return here as he gets it down all the way inside the 30.
I know the special teams coach will not permit himself a smile here, but inside he's glowing. This is what he practices for. This is what he schemes. This is what he watches tape to put himself and his team in a position to score points. An absolute dream return.
Entering plate, spacing. For vertical, spacing, for verticals, spacing.
A first down throw for Cousins. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15.
Entering play call.
12 yards there. First down Vikings. Defensively, they're going to have to do something about him in a hurry because that last catch puts him over the 100-yard mark. We haven't even hit the second quarter yet.
And you did say they'd have to do it in a hurry. It has to.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now on the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, still in the first quarter, and look out. I mean, they are on pace for over 80 points in this game. I don't know that they'll get there, CD, but this has been impressive to watch so far.
That certainly would be history in the making, wouldn't it, partner? I'm glad we're here to actually watch and see if it actually happens, although, like you, I have my doubts, but they are firmly in control of this game.
They'll run it with Madison. And he is into the end zone for 2 more as the lead moves up to 16. Needed a couple yards for the 2-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Entering play, strung onside. Kickoff keep left.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time. And going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Entering play.
With a dime look on defense, 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10. Stroud looking to throw. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches as we just saw him do there because He really looks like a
One
wide.
Robert entering auto flip on pop-up. The eye will handle flipping your defensive play to best match the offensive formation. If you want to manually flip your defense in the play call screen, you can turn it off now. It will stay off until it is turned back on. Turn off. Entering
Goes
play
about his
call.
business.
Yeah,
Coach
230,
suggestions.
240
There are
range.
7
Yeah, not
STR
super
to cover.
huge.
Cover
Maybe
free
not
scheme.
counted on to be that inline point of attack
Spread.
blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Spread.
First and 10, it's Pierce. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It's a loss of 2. Brings up 2nd and 12. At the Vikings
Entering play
47
call.
yard line.
Play call.
Stroud to throw it. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2.
Coach suggestion. Entering play now screen. You have 9 options. Quit/restart is selected. Entering
With a
play
third
call.
down
Coach
coming up.
suggestions. There are 7 categories.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Stroud. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, this is something we've seen before, partner. We've seen a defense bait a rookie, pretend to leave a window open, and then the defensive back jumped it as soon as the ball was released. Big-time play. They love taking advantage of the youngsters, and in this case, it paid off well.
There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Entering play now screen. You have 8 options. Quit game is selected.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are able to add on to their first-half lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. They'll run it with Madison. And he is not going to get to the goal line. And for the first time here this afternoon, they are thwarted on the 2-point conversion. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
Sprung onside. Kickoff keep left.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. They will start out in really great shape, up close to midfield. Houston set to take over.
49-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Coach suggestions.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9.
Give cushion.
Here's Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now here's Stroud on 3rd down. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
A 44-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and the deficit falls under 20 now. It's a 19-point game. We're trailing here in the first half still, but maybe, Charles, that'll help them get some momentum back. First, the forced fumble, and then they're able to get a field goal out of it.
And down in the game, they came out and created their own opportunity on one side of the ball and did get points out of it, as you mentioned. Complimentary football right there as they try and bring this one back to even.
This fielded right at the goal line. Oh, Oh, he's going to take this out of the back of the end zone. And that's going to be a safety.
The goal here is about getting any kind of positive yardage in this spot because you don't care who, you don't care how. You just want to try and buy a little space and get away from your own end zone. But in this spot, the defense was all over that play and equally motivated to stick them with a safety.
After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick. And now, how about this? The free kick from the 20 going to be out of bounds, and that, of course, is a penalty. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Play action. Here's Stroud. He finds his man, complete. It's back, and he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
Entering play call, coach suggestions. There are 7 categories. Pass.
Pierce now up the middle. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7, and they get it back to a 3rd and 3.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beef eaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. He needed 2. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
Forward, inside, forward, inside zone.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll start on the ground with Madison. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense. A little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Cousins now on 2nd down. He'll get this underneath to Madison. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
Entering 4 verticals, inside zone.
3rd down and 6. Now Cousins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Punt off tackle. Punt. 0-1 trap. Commute drag. 0-1 trap.
Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down. They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson on his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. They'll run it with Madison. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And by rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so good opportunity for this offense with solid field position. Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, but that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
A run for Pierce out of the gun, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Meanwhile, Stroud's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a
Entering plate, cover to invert.
2nd down and a yard. Here's Pierce on the counter. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 58 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
That is caught, and he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Entering play
now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll motion the tight end across the formation. Back to the ground with Pierce. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. It's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Touchdown, Texans! Dalton Schultz from 8 yards out. And the Texans get a bit closer. Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback. But, hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead. But at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to 18.
Special teams, you have 6 options.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And can you believe it? It's a second safety in this ball game.
Every team has plays in their book to try and buy some room when a safety's on the table. But a big variable is how does each team deal with the pressure of executing in those situations? In this case, they didn't, and they gave up 2 points.
Entering play now screen, you have 9 options. Quit/restart is selected. Entering play call, special teams, you have 3 options. Punt left is selected. Punt right, punt left.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Offense back out there along with Dameon Pierce. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. 1st and 10, it's Stroud. Oh, what a read on the outside as it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
I believe this is what you would call growing pains here, partner, because this defense obviously took the challenge facing the rookie, and they wanted to help indoctrinate him to the NFL. So now the big question is, can he answer that challenge and rebound with plenty of time remaining in this game?
Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback.
Touchdown! Justin Jefferson, 43 yards. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead.
Entering play, inside zone.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. Cousins will try and throw. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Entering play now. Entering play call. Special team. Strong onside. Kickoff deep left.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And, oh, that's one he's going to want back. A poor kick. It heads straight out of bounds.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well,
that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25, so at a minimum, you're giving up 10 yards to the offense.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time. So make sure you get in shape.
Safe man left. Favorites, error set, one double bus.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And Stroud now to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead them to 4th down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something different.
7. Entering play now screen. You have 9 options. Quit/restart is selected. Entering play call. Coach suggestions. Straight rush. Play call.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. They try and bring the pressure, but he still gets off a good one. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. He's the star wide receiver, and he's doing his thing so far here into the 2nd quarter.
And how you get distinguished as a star is each and every week performing to a high level no matter what they throw at you, because you're always wanting to take him out of the game if you're a defensive team. How do you press him, double him, triple him, all of those things? But the best players show up each and every week, solid games and some spectacular ones.
And he has showed up time and time again. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
0-1 trap. How you drag wheel. 0-1 trap.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Option, RPO power cross, inside zone.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. The defense shaking their heads, not aggressive enough, and they allow him to convert a 3rd and 18.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively, just too hard to keep him under wraps, and delivers a big play here for this offense.
Entering play call, puck counter, flanker drive, puck cross it, slants middle, puck corner, red option, RPO power cross, inside zone.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Cousins now from the 50. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw, Cousins. And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
Entering play, puck counter, flankered, puck cross it, slants middle. Per special teams, favorite puck count, flanker drop, puck cross it, puck boot slide, shock WR option.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Play action now, Cousins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. Nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Enter, puck count, flankered, puck cross, slants, empty and slant white, jet chip wasp, slant white corner.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally.
And sometimes when you see a running back lined up out wide, you think maybe he's just a decoy. But not in this case. He was lined up out wide to the left, turned into a primary receiver, and picked up a nice chunk of yardage.
Flanker drive, puck cross it, slants middle. AHB slip screen. Empty and slant white corner.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
We're going, let's go.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make 2nd down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
And
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make...
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Malik Collins in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
Now Cousins on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, they were 2 for 3 on 4th down tries. Now they're unsuccessful. That brings them down to 50%.
But that's a percentage you have to feel pretty good about. You know, 2 for 4, I mean, 2 for 3 before that, but finally get stopped again. That's okay. That's the type of team that'll keep pressing. In this situation, they'll continue to go for it.
A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 7-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much. And welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a strong first half for the veteran quarterback, Kirk Cousins.
Screen run inside is
he had a half
selected.
of the ages. Touchdown pass after touchdown pass.
Run
he threw
outside.
a month's worth of touchdowns
Run
in just
inside.
those first 2 quarters of play.
Defend outside. Defend short. Defend medium pass.
All right, Coach, thank you,
onside.
and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Kickoff deep middle.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half. Well, certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. So they take the flag and the yardage that comes with it.
1 double bus.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
You have 22 options. Cover 2 invert is selected. 1 double bus.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stroud sets up the play action. That's caught again by Schultz. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Stroud looking to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Marcus Davenport able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. They'll toss this to Pierce on the right side. And he'll get this one down to about the 20.
Entering play now screen. You have 7 options. Quit game is selected.
They get
Entering play now screen.
But they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. And he is just one reception away from 10 in this game. I don't know what they need to do defensively, but something has to be altered, does it not?
I know that whenever we tried to cover a person who's having a game like this, you're trying to vary what you're doing, trying to change things up, hoping to fool him occasionally. If not fool him, fool the quarterback so that maybe...
It got his man complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to add on to that lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done. It's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
They'll try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. Well, not sure about the need to go for 2, but they get it and extend this lead out even further.
Entering play. Strong onside. Kickoff keep left. Kickoff keep middle.
Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And solid field position here to start as they get this out to the 40-yard line. And now out comes Houston.
At their own 40-yard line.
We all know the teams never want to use the word panic, but if they expect to win this game, it has to start right here, right now. That return just set them up for points, and it needs to be a touchdown, not a field goal.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 93 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. There was a great article in the paper yesterday about how he likes to run angry. Plays like that, you can feel it, can't you?
As long as he doesn't drive angry, we're okay. Because when he's on the field, that anger works for him. It fuels him, it powers him, and the end result runs like that.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Running it out of the gun with Pierce. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Pierce. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Error 7. Give pushing.
At the 5-yard line.
Outside 3rd.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Pierce diving for the end zone, and he'll get there. Touchdown. Oh, CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4 fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Recent man 3G.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. Now that shaves a bit off the lead. It's now a 23-point game.
Entering play
so
call,
this drive spans 7 plays. And it was Damian Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. A monster game so far, 3rd quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way, and he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover.
And that could have been the lifeline they needed. This is a play that could have been made. Instead, it's just going to fall incomplete.
Slants middle.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Cousins. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off.
Offense.
What are they thinking?
Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
A tough spot here, 3rd and 15. Cousins to throw it. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson, and he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Flankered, flood.
Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as this defense, boy, a little too loose there. They give up a gain of 19 on 4th down.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Entering play, jet pass FK, shallow cross, jet pass FK zone.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Entering slants middle, counter Y, verticals Y cross, RPO zone alert Omaha.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging into our second half blowout material. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. This duo locked in, 14 yards there, and a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Touchdown, Vikings! Jordan Addison from 17 yards out. And the Vikings are an extra point away from going up by 30. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on the 2-point try.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit.
Special teams, you have
but
6
going
options.
for 2 in this situation,
selected.
Somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you... I mean, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it,
It was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
Entering play call, play type, man coverage. Man coverage, there are 2 categories. Weak blitz 1. 1 Robert press. Cover 1 hole. Spread.
Stroud now on 1st and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Sheldon Day in there with pressure yet again. That is the 7th time that they have dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Hand off left side, Pierce. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Ready.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. This is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time, multiple guys get to it.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them.
Entering play call, coach suggestions.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. He's hoping to take what has been a good game here and make it a great game. So far, solid, and we're still in the 3rd quarter.
There's nothing wrong with solid. You want to be that. You want to be reliable. You want to be a guy that puts your team in a position to have a chance to win. And that's what we're seeing from him. And there's also that added element that maybe it can become a little bit more as this game goes on.
He'll try to make it more here on this drive. On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. Cousins now. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. 1st down Vikings. Well, those backups on the sideline, they got to be eagerly anticipating the 4th quarter upcoming. Look at the size of the lead, how they're moving the football. This defense really struggling and giving up plays like we just saw.
Yeah, Stars have certainly done all they've needed to in this one, haven't they? But my question is, will he be able to resist the urge to continue to run things up a bit and get his main guys a few bonus stats before he calls them off the field?
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Throwing, Cousins. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Entering play
12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
10 at the 41-yard line.
1st down. Here's Cousins. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Now Cousins. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. And that's complete to K.J. Osborne. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the 1st on the 35-yard stripe.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. That is caught. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the 4th down play to result in 23 yards. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
Stretch. Zone split W, flanker under, zone split WK.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Vikings get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
RPO zone alert, spacing switch.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. Cousins will try and throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9.
Kick half.
Now a handoff for Pierce. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Stroud out of the gun here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And you can tell just by looking at them that this offense is a frustrated unit. Things are really unraveling here, and as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. Here's Powell on the return. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Entering play call.
Back now in Foxborough.
There are 9 categories.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. You just kind of feel for the defense right now, this deficit. They have not been able to stop them the entire game, Charles. And some hands on hips, some long faces out there on the defensive side. They're like, oh, my gosh, we got to face these guys again here.
Yeah, people don't understand how hard it is when you're on the side that's being dominated to keep your head up and continue to play hard. And that's what they're going through right now, trying to find that pride inside of them to allow them to continue to fight, even though they are down huge in this game.
0-1 trap.
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. Another carry now for Madison. And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Cousins. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to pick up the Vikings' 1st down by a couple of yards as they get 5 there on 4th and 3.
And that's a big pickup of a 1st down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. It's caught inside the 25. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 50 yards.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
Entering play, Y corner, AHB stretch. Shock WR option. Y corner.
So after the big play, look at this. All the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Entering.
Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently. Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down.
There's Hawkinson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Entering play. RPO zone alert. RPO power. Sprint rub flat.
The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion. But still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do. And don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know what I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before.
Entering play. Strong onside. Kickoff deep left.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. The Texans offense set to regain possession. But we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. They'll run a draw now with Singletary. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. We've paid this offense plenty of compliments already, but I mean, they are deserving as they start another series to be leading by this much with so much time left to play in the 4th. Charles, it's really been impressive to watch.
It has been, and you have to think to yourself, the preparation that went into this, but the absolute focus that they kept throughout in order to have this kind of a result. This is Super Bowl-esque, and they've got to feel awfully good about what they put out there today.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 25 yards that time. Well, there's absolutely been no stopping this offense today. They already have the big lead, obviously. Here in the fourth quarter, they could coast to the end, but right now they're not passing up any chances to put up some garbage time yardage.
And, partner, why would they? Because who knows the next time you'll be playing as well as you have today. When you're in that zone, you go ahead and take full advantage of it. You don't worry about your opponent. You just worry about what you're doing.
A first down throw for Cousins. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. Alexander Madison, 55 yards. And the Vikings are pouring it on. I'm not sure what other ground there is to cover here. I mean, this offense has been amazing. Just total domination, Charles.
They've clicked so well, and if you really focus in on the offensive line, they've protected well when they've wanted to throw the ball. They've moved people off the line of scrimmage when they've wanted to run it. Smiles all the way around. This offense has been really good in this one.
They'll run it with Madison. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead.
Entering, strong onside, kickoff keep left.
Greg Joseph to kick off for Minnesota.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Certainly not what they wanted there, so the football by rule comes out to the 40.
Free kick out of bounds, kicking team.
And penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Cover 2 man. Option is set. Option. Cover 2 invert. 1 double bus.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing now is Stroud. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Here's a 2nd and 5. And Stroud now to throw. He's got his man. It's the tight end, Brevin Jordan. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 25-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
Okay, ready?
First and 10, it's Pierce. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Play call, cover 2
Here's 3rd down and 4.
You have 24 active cushion.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Pierce now up the middle. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
And they've just not been able to block him at all throughout this game. Seems like every other play, he's doing something in the backfield. Already got 2 sacks, and now here's a tackle behind the line.
Stroud is hit, and the ball is loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one. So you look over the sideline.
Right.
There's head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it. Field goal time.
Now Kaimi Fairbairn out for the field goal try for the Texans. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Fairbairn able to put this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here telling us stretch this thing out a little bit?
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Well, at this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Well, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us. Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Slant, Y corner.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach. And maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up. But he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Play action now. Cousins. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. So the drive stays alive after the 4th down conversion. 1st and 10 inside the 30. Cousins to throw it. Now the ball comes loose. Oh, and one of the linebackers has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You and I have been around teams, and they all have goals for games, don't they? And every team we've ever talked to says what?
No turnover.
Don't turn the ball over. 0. And they were that close to getting it done. Won't cost them today, but they'll hate that when they're watching the game tape.
Houston set to take over. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the fourth quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a contour, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Second and 10, Stroud to throw yet again here. Running the slant, that's Robert Woods. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Even against double coverage, he found enough of an opening for a noticeable gain. 2 guys on him, yet he finds a way to uncover downfield for the completion.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. I'm just wondering, do they want to add on to this gigantic lead? My guess, given how they like to play and how explosive this offense is, Charles, that they're not content being up by this margin. They probably want more.
And if they do go and get more, oh, look out. At that point, let's just aim the camera for the post-game handshake because that one might be a little bit on the tense side, the way that this one is turning out.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Going to run with Madison again. And, oh, this Texans defense, they're all charged up now. They stop him behind the line for the second straight play. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Running from the shotgun with Madison. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Y corner, flanker drive, AHP power O.
Now look at this, 4th and 12, and they're going to line up to go for it. They're going for it. Here's Madison. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And it'll be a turnover on down.
Middle third.
Play action. Stroud now. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
Entering play call.
A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it.
Return left leg.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. And out now come the Vikings. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point.
Drag, AHP, power O. Payu drag wheel. Puck counter. Flanker drive. Puck crosses it.
Cousins here to throw. Short throw caught by the tight end, Oliver. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Throwing is Cousins. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Sheldon Rankins collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
3rd and 9 here. Now Cousins. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. And with that, we say so long from Foxborough.